All right, it's a fresh new week. So, what am I going to be looking for? Well, we had a pretty crazy end of London session where there was some news announced that the USA and Iran have had peace talks, and therefore we had this huge candle which spiked up like something crazy, like 3.5%. That's already ran out a lot of liquidity. So, if I go back to the higher time frame here, we'll go only to the 4 hour time frame. What happened was we had a break of structure down here, and then whenever that break of structure happens, what you're looking for is a return to the bump in the road or liquidity, which in this case was over here where I've marked out this line. So that is where your liquidity target was going to be. And now that price has already run up and taken it, you're kind of in a position now where your higher time frame liquidity target is gone. So in terms of today, I don't think there's too much left over. Long term, now with this bullish news about Iran, I'd still look at these set of triple highs as definitely a high time frame target. The trouble is, I just don't know when they're going to get taken out. But I think hopefully that we're going to get a little bit of bullish momentum going into this week now, off the back of the news. So as far as today goes, there will not be any longs for me because we're not going to come back down to this liquidity realistically down here. That's so far away now. So the only way you could take a long is on a continuation. So that'd be probably in this huge imbalance here. You want to see us come down maybe even a little bit further, and then if you get some bullish reversal signals afterwards, then maybe you could look for a continuation long. But that's just not really what I'd want to see in the way that I would trade. So that's not going to be an option for me. So the only other thing is a short, and now we've taken out this liquidity. This would have been really nice to have happened in New York session, but unfortunately it did not. However, I will be looking at a couple things because this is still now a bearish swing failure pattern. So I'll be looking at either two things for a potential short. I'll be looking for price to either come up in New York, retrace a little bit into this, and then get a bearish rejection candle, but still respect this high, and then you can just basically follow through on the bearish swing failure that was printed here. And then if you drop into the 5 minute, and then you can look for a better entry. So if we get a 1 o'clock candle on the New York Open, which confirms this bearish swing failure pattern, I could look for a short into this big imbalance beneath us. The alternative is that if this 12 o'clock candle, which we're in the middle of now, if that doesn't take out this high, then we would have formed a new swing point, and then this 1 hour swing high could form a new liquidity point for then New York to run out. And then if we get a bearish swing failure pattern off of that, then I could look for a short. But it's kind of against the fundamentals right now to be looking for a short in that situation. However, we do have a huge imbalance of buy orders beneath us. So I would like that. I'd expect to see some retracement into this huge gap before price eventually, if it expands higher, if it does expand higher. So that's what I'll be looking for. Unfortunately, the big move has already kind of happened, which is a little bit annoying, but that's kind of life. And you can see S&P 500 is literally identical. So that's the only thing I could look at for. Longs are completely off of the table now. Shorts are possible, but I'll have to wait and see. It's not something I'd love to take part in. So this could be another day where you just have to sit out the market, which is okay. And then we'll see what happens for the rest of the week.